Hello everybody. Now I'm going to discuss language of chemistry. Clear? So this chapter is very important and this will not only help you in this class but in higher classes also it will help you. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss here is the chemical reactions. What is chemical reaction? Any chemical change in matter which involves transformation into one or more new substances as well as the transfer of energy is called chemical reaction. Means what happened here transformation of one or more new substances also occur and transfer of energy also occurs in this. Clear? And such type of reaction is called as a chemical reaction. Next is the in chemical reaction we in two terms are used, reactants and products. So the substances that undergo chemical change in the chemical reaction, clear, the substances that undergo chemical change in the chemical reactions are called reactants, clear. And next is product. So the new substances that are formed, clear, new substances that are formed in the chemical reactions are called products. Okay, so this is the two terms that we use in chemical reaction, reactants and products. For example, hydrogen plus oxygen, clear, hydrogen and oxygen, this is what, this is here reactants, clear, this is a reactants. Okay, and this is the when hydrogen and oxygen reacts, it gives water, it gives water, so water is the product, so water is the product, clear. So hydrogen and oxygen reactants, and always reactant is written left side and product is written what, right side. Okay, now next example, take sodium oxide plus water. So when sodium oxide reacts with water, then there is a formation of sodium hydroxide. So here sodium oxide and water, they are what? They are reactants. Okay, and sodium hydroxide is what? Sodium hydroxide is a product. Okay, now so it is. Now the next is conditions necessary for chemical reactions. So there are many conditions that are necessary for occurring the chemical reactions. So the first is the close contact. For a chemical reactions to take place, the reactant must come into close contact. Clear? Otherwise what will happen? If they will not come close to each other, then if they will not be mixed, then there will be no chemical reactions. So close contact is a must. Second one is solution form. So some substances react with each other only they are mixed in the solution form, like silver nitrate and sodium chloride. When they react, they form silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So this is just an example. Okay, next is the heat. Some reactants need to be heated to undergo a chemical change. So I'll discuss later on that there are some chemical reactions that occur because of the presence of heat. Clear? Next is light, and the best example of chemical reaction in which light is important is the photosynthesis. So some reactions take place in the presence of water, light. Then the next one is catalyst. Catalyst is what? What is catalyst? Catalyst, it is a substance which changes the rate of chemical reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. So this is called as catalyst, and catalysts do not take part in the chemical reaction. Clear? Catalysts do not take part in the chemical reaction. It only activates the chemical reaction. So like when potassium chlorate is heated, then manganese dioxide act as a chemical reaction. So when potassium chlorate is heated, then it decomposed into potassium chloride and manganese dioxide. So here potassium chloride and oxygen, Clear? Here manganese dioxide act as a catalyst. Clear? It help to increase the rate of reaction, but it do not take part in the chemical reaction. So always remember that catalysts do not take part in the chemical reaction. Only it helps to speed up or to slow down the chemical reactions. Now, next is the characteristics of chemical reaction. Clear? Chemical reactions are characterized by certain changes that can be easily observed. They help to recognize the changes in the reactants and formation of new products. So some of the characteristics I am going to discuss. So the first one is change of color. In some chemical reactions, change of color takes place when reactants form the products. For example, you can see here iron and copper sulfate. So copper sulfate is blue solution, means the color of copper sulfate is what? Blue. So when a few pieces of iron are dropped in a blue solution of copper sulfate, then its blue color slowly changes into light green solution of what? Iron sulfate. And also a red substance of copper is formed. So red substance is what? Copper, and means what? Means the color of copper is red. Clear? So this is, so here what happened? Here the color of the reactants change, and in reactants the color is different. In product also the color is different from the reactants. Now the next is the evolution of a gas. In some chemical reactions, one of the product is a gas which can be recognized by the bubbles, smell or color. Clear? So like for example, when sodium carbonate reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid, then sodium chloride and water formed, and one gas is formed also. What is the name of that gas? Carbon dioxide. Yes, carbon dioxide gas is formed. And you can check the presence of carbon dioxide gas. How you can check the presence of carbon dioxide gas? When carbon dioxide gas is passed through the lime water, then lime water turns milky. Clear? So this way you can recognize the presence of carbon dioxide gas. Now next is the formation of a precipitate. This is also one of the important characteristics of the chemical reaction. In some chemical reactions, when two solutions are mixed, an insoluble solid known as precipitate is formed. And always remember that precipitate settle down. Clear? So that is why I have marked with the arrow. So you can see the arrow here. Arrow is what? This arrow indicates that it settles down. So when, for example, I have given here barium chloride. When barium chloride reacts with the sodium sulfate, it forms barium sulfate and sodium chloride. And here barium sulfate you will get as a white precipitate. Clear? Now next is a change of state. Change of state means solid changes into gases, gases changes into liquid, like this. So change of state is observed in many chemical reactions. The reactant may be a solid or a liquid which changes into a gaseous product or vice versa. So for example, I have taken here hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas. But when hydrogen and oxygen reacts, there is a formation of what? Water. And you know water is what? Liquid. Yes. So here what happened? Change of state occurred. Now next is the change of a smell. During some chemical reactions, a strong smell is noticed. So like when solid ammonium chloride is heated with sodium hydroxide solution, a gas evolved, and the smell of that gas is what? Pungent smell, and this pungent smell is of ammonia gas. Clear? Always remember that ammonia is what? Ammonia is having pungent smell. And we can say that whenever chemical reaction occurs, in some chemical reaction, change of smell also occurs. Okay. Now next is the heat is released or evolved. So during many chemical reactions, heat is evolved, indicating the formation of products. So for when when heat is evolved. Clear? So on the basis of heat, two types of reactions there, exothermic and endothermic. So when heat evolved, it is called as a exothermic reaction. And when heat is taken in the reaction, Clear? Then such type of reaction is called as a endothermic reaction. So always remember, exo means out, endo means in. Clear? Inside. So like this we can say that in some chemical reaction heat is released or evolved. Now the next topic is chemical equations. A chemical equation is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction using symbols and formulae of the reactants involved and the products formed in the reaction. So chemical equation, there are two types of chemical equation. First is skeletal equation and the second one is balanced equation. Skeletal equation means what? Unbalanced chemical equation is called as skeletal equation. Clear? And when we balance the chemical equation, it is called as what? Balanced chemical equation. Now, then the question must have come in the mind that why there is a need. What is the need of balancing the equation? Balancing the equation is very important because a chemical reaction is just a rearrangement of atoms. The atoms themselves are neither created nor destroyed during the course of chemical reaction. And so a chemical equation, that is why there is a need to be balanced, because to make the number of atoms of the reactants equal to the number of atoms of the product. Clear? So how we can define balanced equation? A balanced chemical reaction is the one in which the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms of that element on the product side. Clear? So here for balancing the chemical equation, you should know how to write the formulae, and for writing the formulae, valency is very important, and to know the valency, atomic number is very important. So now in this video I am telling you about the atomic number. You please learn all the atomic number at least from 1 to 20, and so that in next video I'll tell you how to get valency from the atomic number and how to write formula with the help of the atomic number, and then in another video I'll explain how to balance the chemical equation. Clear? So students, don't forget to learn the atomic number from 1 to 20. So 1 is the atomic number of hydrogen, 2 is the atomic number of helium, 3 is the atomic number of lithium, 4 is the atomic number of beryllium, 5 is the atomic number of boron, 6 is the atomic number of carbon, 7 is the atomic number of nitrogen, 8 is the atomic number of oxygen, 9 is the atomic number of fluorine, and 10 is the atomic number of neon, 11 is the atomic number of sodium, 12 is the atomic number of magnesium, 13 is the atomic number of aluminium, 14 is the atomic number of silicon, 15 is the atomic number of phosphorus, 16 is the atomic number of sulfur, and 17 is the atomic number of chlorine, 18 is the atomic number of argon, 19 is the atomic number of potassium, and 20 is the atomic number of calcium. So all of you please learn atomic number from 1 to 20, and then in next video I'll tell you how to get valency from the atomic number and then to write the formula. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you very much.